currently here at the COTU headquarters, where the boss himself, that is Francis Atwoli, has just addressed members of the Fourth Estate. He is the latest voice to add on the cooperation that was signed by Nairobi County Governor, that is Johnson Sakaja, as well as President William Ruto, just to get a point of his view, what he thinks about the agreement itself and how it will benefit Nairobians, given that the trade unions represented here by COTU is under a number of them, and of course protecting their rights is one of his mandates as the Secretary General of the Central Organization of Trade Unions here in the country. Francis Atwoli, thank you for joining us this afternoon. Kindly tell us, you have talked about extensively the deal between Nairobi and the national government. Is it a good deal?
That deal was overdue. Because once, and I want to thank the governor of Nairobi, being a gentleman and going to the national government, telling them, please look here, there is inability for us here to provide essential services to Nairobians. Kindly come in and assist. That is how it should be. I've been a lone voice on Nairobi issues. I've been talking all the time that let Nairobi be in the hands of national government. Big cities where there is a seat of government like Nairobi, they are manned by national government. The city of Washington, D.C. is run by the government, and so many others that are managed and taken care of by government, including the smallest city of Kigali in Rwanda, in Eastern Africa. It's manned by government. The smallest country with very few, less than 100,000 citizens, which is Seychelles, is run by government. So you cannot, apart from those districts, that's where we have MPs, members of parliament. There are about 26 or 22 members of parliament, and about nominated are almost less than 30. Parliament, it has less than 30 members of parliament. But then go there, it is the cleanest city in the region, in East Africa. Go to Arusha, see how Arusha clean is. And the government has developed interest in it. And if you go to Arusha's sister town, that was Nakuru, those cities were started by settlers during colonial time. At the same time, Arusha appears more cleaner than even any of the cities or towns around East Africa, because the government has put in its own hand simply because that is the headquarters of East African community. And what we are saying is that let Nairobi be taken up, because Nairobi now has grown, it's too big. I grew up here. It's now more than 300 kilometers square. And any governor can manage it on its own. It will require a lot of resources, a lot of planning, a lot of vehicles to collect garbage, and also so many workers at the side of managing our parks. We used to have very clean parks in Nairobi, and water section. Also, it requires national government to manage water, because hotels and every essential services that Nairobi requires should not fail simply because the governor of Nairobi can't manage, or the Nairobians themselves are unable to reach out to the governor and make sure that those services are provided. So that is why it should be taken over by government. We have parliament here, we have big hotels are here, all guests who want in East Africa. Nairobi is the satellite of economic activities, and we are getting visitors on a daily basis. And even tourists, before they go to at Coast or they go at Masai Mara, they land in Nairobi first. So it must be clean. We must remove hawkers on Mombasa Road. We must make CBD clean. We must remove matatus and riders from the city so that the city remains clean without hawkers and so on. If you go to Addis Ababa, they have succeeded in doing the same. Go to Ivory Coast in Abidjan, they have succeeded doing the same. Go to Abuja in Nigeria. Abuja is not chaotic, very well organized city. And Nairobi cannot be exceptional, because visiting us, what he sees at the airport and on Mombasa Road depicts the picture of what Kenyans are. And we don't want to be classified as people whose economy is not performing. So that is why we are supporting the agreement between the Nairobi County government and the national government.
Okay, maybe finally, before I let you go, given that millions of Kenyans are watching you right now, you do know the increment of NSSF will be starting to be instituted in the pay slips of employees and the employers themselves. Maybe as COTU Boss, given that your voice is very pertinent to this particular issue, in just 1 minute, what are you telling employees of this country?
That is their savings. Because when they retire, they need to go home with something better than what they used to go home with. People used to go home with 40,000 shillings. 40,000 shillings is just a ticket from here to Mombasa or to Western Kenya. And it ends there after having worked for 20, 10, 30 years. But now somebody will go home with a sizable number of money. And not only that, what we are pushing on, we want all Kenyan workers to be pensionable. You get your lump sum and you remain on pension, so that you have money until you expire to exist. That is where we are going, to reduce poverty amongst the people who have retired and people who have worked for a long time.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
And of course, there you have it, Kenyans. We've just heard from COTU Boss, that is Francis Atwoli, on a number of issues on the Nairobi and the national government deal, where he supports that particular deal and says at the end of the day it will be beneficial not only to the traders but to the residents of Nairobi County. Also on the NSSF increment, you've just heard what the COTU Boss has clearly stated, that those savings are your savings at the end of the day.